Hey everyone, welcome to the Film Freak Show Refreaked. I'm your host, the Film Freak. It is interesting to look at the Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise and how far it's come. The idea of speeding up one's voice for the sake of a comedic element is rather easy to see as to why it was so funny. But when it comes to the idea of Alvin and the Chipmunks, we have Witch Doctor to thank for making them so popular. Following up with a hit animated series, several albums, and several TV movies, even a feature-length adventure, it makes sense why Alvin and the Chipmunks have become such a beloved franchise. Now, you might be wondering, which Chipmunks adventure am I going to talk about? Maybe one of the many TV movies, or maybe that weird Chipmunks adventure movie that came out in the 80s? Nope! Not in the slightest. I'm talking about a god-blessed Fox movie that is so stupid. It's such a stupid idea, and it's CG hybrid, but it's got Jason Lee in it. Let's continue. Released in 2007, when the idea of speeding up someone's voice was long past relevancy, not to mention funny, Alvin and the Chipmunks is often looked at when discussing some of the worst live-action adaptations of beloved animated classics. Like, freaking Bill Murray Garfield bad. Saying I have only slight relation to the franchise, this should be a fun time. If you spell fun like this is Alvin and the Chipmunks. Because the film knows that parents already don't want to be there, we immediately open up with the Chipmunks singing Bad Day by Daniel Powter. Like, that doesn't date this movie in the slightest. I mean, when was that song released? 2005? Oh, we're in trouble. You know what else doesn't age this movie? The people voicing the Chipmunks. I put quotation marks around voicing because you can't really tell because of the nails on a chalkboard type beat going on. Shit, it's different. That's Justin Long voicing Alvin, Matthew Gray Gubler, an actor known for Criminal Minds, as Simon, and Jesse McCartney as Theodore. Their tree gets chopped down. Honestly, the best thought that's keeping me going is that these rodents die in the first 2 minutes. And they're taken to a city. Which one? Doesn't matter. And we're introduced to who would be the father of the Chipmunks, Dave Seville. Now, this is an interesting task. Dave Seville is a very interesting character from the cartoon. In the series, Dave could be seen as a decent father figure who was there for the boys whenever they needed it. So, I am interested to see how Dave Seville is portrayed here. No, of course. Jason Lee, of course, the one person I couldn't imagine this role. Riveting! Turns out Dave's late for a meeting and he proceeds to rush out the house, being stopped by his love interest, Cameron Richardson. Hey. Yeah, I know she has a name, but Cameron Richardson. Dave goes to his meeting with the best thing to happen in this movie, Ian, played by David Cross. You know how Hugh Laurie was a consistently great thing in Monsters vs. Aliens? David Cross is like that here.
Hey, back off, man. This is Dave Seville.
Ian tells Dave that his song sucks because it's not new or original. I'd be more concerned by the fact that that's clearly not Jason Lee singing. Dave steals the muffins. Ha! Big corporation, that'll show them. But this movie has a weird pacing issue, so once he steals the muffins, nothing else happens. The Chipmunks get mixed in and hop on with Dave. And I've seen these bastards with clothes way too much for me to not imagine a censor bar over them. And Dave goes home. Oh man, if there's anything Fox Movies makes good, it's food. I can't wait to see Dave dive into those muffins. God dang it! Turns out the Chipmunks are hungry and...
Hello, product placements.
Money is going to come out of our dicks. But Dave is onto their antics and tries to get them out. Dave, of course, can't believe that Chipmunks can talk, and yeah, they get really annoying at this point.
Dave likes to wear dirty underwear.
Dave throws them out, but we gotta sell the soundtrack CDs, so cue our next song, a song every kid would know, Only You by the Platters. I too love the Fallout games. Yeah, that's okay, but moment of silence for the guy who had to listen to the original soundtrack. Of course, Dave lets them stay as long as they can help his music career take off. The next day comes, and it turns out Simon's not exactly great with his eyesight. So Dave gets these glasses off of a Santa decoration. Did I mention this movie came out in December? It did. Also, that Santa has to have them shades, club glasses. Hashtag not sponsored, hashtag my dick turns green.
So if you start storing it, it's gonna get gross, and we're gonna have rodent...
You know, I'm just gonna put this picture of my buddy Squigs pogging every time something mildly funny happens. So Dave has the Chipmunks sing Christmas Don't Be Late, the song the Chipmunks are actually really famous for, minus Witch Doctor, and we'll get to that soon.
Alvin!
This kicks a hamster wheel's butt.
Alvin!
It's a trailer moment! Come. So the Chipmunks sing, which of course catches the attention of Cameron Richardson. That was ass on cheeks 2 ways from Sunday. The fuck did this sell for? David Cross comes back. I think that warrants this. As Dave is ready to show him the Chipmunks, but...
What?
Stage fright? They're literally natural-born performers. Imagine you buy a Chipmunk CD and they do that shit.
Christmas, Christmas time. Sorry, I get stage fright easily.
Maybe if you take care of my pipes, I can take care of your pipes.
Of course, the stage fright makes Dave look insane. Not sure why it's that, and not the fact that he's talking to chipmunks. And again, David Cross is the best thing to happen in this movie.
No, Dave, I'm going to pretend that I have a lunch to go to. Oops, I've got a lunch to go to.
Dave isn't happy, not sure if that's Dave or Jason Lee talking, but it turns out he has to go to work.
So sorry about the delay.
No fucking way!
Don't worry, Jane Lynch is pretty much a useless cameo, not utilizing the slightest. Dave pitches his commercial idea, but gets a call from the Chipmunks.
Theodore vacuumed up Alvin.
Is that considered vor? Man, that's my shit.
You what?
How do you feel about an indoor pool?
Look, if you flood my house, you're dead. Out on the street, capiche?
Probably closest thing to funny we'll see in the scene. Alright. Dave shows his presentation. The fuck you doing actual boards for? PowerPoint was just as popular. But it turns out...
The size of Theodore's butt?
I mean, Theodore do got a thick ass. I'm not furry, guys. That's not what I was trying to say.
It would be so awesome. It would be so...
This gets Dave fired, and it doesn't help that he comes home to a messy house. And it turns out Dave's scolding gets Theodore a little too scared.
It's a raisin, Dave.
Prove it. Alvin!
You owe me big time.
You know, I should mention that in the trailers, Alvin eats the shit instead of Simon. Yes, animators didn't just animate Simon eating the shit. They apparently had an alternate take for this scene. Alvin ate the shit! After that nightmare, Dave finds Alvin in the washing machine.
There's this new thing. It's called knocking.
It's a trailer moment! Nice. Dave's a mess, but it seems Cameron Richardson is about to come over for dinner. So the Chipmunks offer to clean the house while Dave gets the food. No! That was not a transition. For a movie that doesn't acknowledge PowerPoint, it sure likes to use PowerPoint transitions. The date seems to go over a little awkwardly, so the Chipmunks decide to chip in.
Dave needs a little help from the love doctor.
Of all the forgettable Disney movies you could have stolen from, you chose Dinosaur.
What you need is a little help from the love monkey.
Stop it!
Oh, baby.
Of course, the stuff that Alvin does makes the scene even more awkward.
Tomorrow I'm gonna call the exterminator. Ow!
Wow, chicka wow wow.
Oh great, I actually have to retract a squeak pog moment. Hope you're happy. This scene is made even more awkward by Richardson and Lee, clearly trying to one-up each other's bad acting. Sometimes the movements don't even match the things being said.
You haven't changed at all.
Dave decides to write a letter to send the Chipmunks back to the forest, but has trouble.
Sorry it has to be this way, but...
They literally ruined my life in every way. This is so hard. The Chipmunks, however, have other plans, such as bringing back David Cross, best choice in the movie.
Please, Christmas, don't be late.
Welcome to Jet Records.
David Cross, please, please, please never go away. Dave goes grocery shopping after the boys come back, but it seems another kid is giving Dave a hard time.
How to keep you on your toes. Do you have any?
3 boys.
Well, some days are better than others.
And some days you just want to close them in a box, leave the box in the park, and run away, you know?
Oh.
But it seems Dave's song with the Chipmunks that was never recorded once, maybe just a little bit but not completely, is now being played in the local supermarket. The speed of business.
Speed of business, baby.
That's what I'm saying.
Of course, this turns the Chipmunks into, not even kidding, a worldwide hit overnight. Christmas Don't Be Late gets turned into a rock cover, and it's honestly really good. A good mix, surprisingly. Oh, David Cross is crunking! But again, the song is rather solid. If you can look past this Chipmunk's voice, which aren't that grating in this one, I'd recommend giving it a listen. Oh, son of Theodore seems to have a nightmare, asking Dave if he can sleep with him tonight. Don't try to be emotional now! Christmas comes and the presents Dave gets from the Chipmunks, whatever.
Ho, ho, ho!
Thank God! So the new single drops, and guess what song it is? I'm literally like, I'm losing my shit watching a dumb Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. It's beautiful. But it turns out Cameron Richardson completely overlooks the fact that they're literally talking chipmunks, and more looks at the fact that Dave now has a promising career and a family within the boys.
You're like a family.
Don't say family in front of Dave. It gives him gas. Like, clear the room.
Dave lashes out at the Chipmunks for favoring their Uncle Ian, which is completely fair. You've only been a complaining, whiny little bitch the entire movie. So they go to live with Ian.
I told you, Dave. I never lose.
Except for when I'm doing Chipwrecked. Yeah, I'm not even the fourth one. Good luck watching it. It turns out life with Ian is actually really cool for the Chipmunks. They even got on the road trip. Oh, thank God. We're almost done with the franchise. Oh, no! Oh no, the only thing I'll ever remember about their personalities. Which one was Simon? The Chipmunks are recording a new song, but the fame and fortune is tiring them out.
No, it's coffee, Theodore. Coffee. It's like a super cool energy health drink. Enjoy.
It's a trailer moment! Titties. Rehearsal seems to go awry though, as the Chipmunks feel that the new songs don't really add up to what they started their music career for. Which, yeah, Dave's songs consisted of the one good song on the soundtrack. Ian's songs are the Chip Street Boys!
I can't sing for shit, yeah. But the film's a hit, yeah.
You know what, Dave is not.
Dave wants to talk to the boys before the big world tour, but Ian is hesitant. 2 Swig Pog moments in the span of a minute. Not bad, David Cross. Theodore has a nightmare again, but unlike Dave, Ian isn't so caring.
Oh, you had a nightmare? I had a nightmare too.
Alvin and the Chipmunks. Chipwrecked.
Theodore gets tossed out, and Simon gets his glasses back, which adds nothing to the story other than for the idea that Simon's one personality trait is Velma. This movie almost over. Dave learns of the first stop of the world tour, but it seems the Chipmunks aren't doing so good with the pressure. Oh Jesus, who dressed you, Michael Jackson? Ian suggests that the Chipmunks lip sync and Dave arrives, but tickets are sold out. He tries to get backstage, but has some trouble. Thank God Cameron Richardson is there. Dave tries to get up to the stage, but without even asking his name, security throws him out because Ian told him to. Ian shuts the show down, and security chases after the Chipmunks. How'd you like that on your resume? I got bodied by a CGI chipmunk. They get caught, and Ian makes a pretty fucking good point about this world tour.
They're chipmunks who talk. People will come.
But the Chipmunks get the drop on Ian and reunite with Dave.
We're a family.
Holy nuts.
Hey, save the nut jokes for next week. Ian just now realizes the Chipmunks are not with him, leading to the greatest defeated no in history. No! Yeah, I had to improve it somehow. Looks like Cameron Richardson is giving another chance to Dave, but things soon go wrong.
Uh-oh. Good grief.
Are you still not gonna say it?
Nope. I'm gonna say it. Alvin!
Okay, he said the thing. Can we go home now? The film gladly plays us out with the only good song in the soundtrack. Oh, Happy Days. And that was Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's painful. It's different, alright. At least the other adaptations I've watched, like Garfield and the Smurfs, just make me physically angry. This is just boring and pandering. Too many moments in this movie do I feel like this could have been something. The idea of the Chipmunks gives wiggle room to a good idea for a live-action adaptation. But as long as Star Wars 7 hasn't come out yet, these movies continue to lure people in for the fact that it's a cheap Christmas kids movie that'll entertain the youngins. Which is why I'll leave you with this. If you have kids, you'll find something in this movie. An easy $5 DVD, but it's still something. But if you're like me and you want something like a chipmunk adventure, you're not gonna get that. Alvin and the Chipmunks is a rodent-sized turd awaiting all viewers. And now, I leave you with this. Fuck! It's 2 o'clock in the morning! I have to wait for class! Oh, thank God, it's all right here. I gotta get to class. Today's a Zoom day. What a mess I made, man. Yeah, sick of your fucking look, boys. Cocoa pebbles everywhere. Guess who's cleaning that up? Me! Favorite cross, I want your penis.